Greetings, dear friends. Happy Monday to you. I trust you had a lovely weekend and are getting ready to say goodbye to July. Here we are with our usual Monday check-in and our inner compass forecast session. So before we get into pulling cards, like I said, this is us saying goodbye to July and going to be stepping into August by the end of this week. So how has this passing month been for you? And the other part of checking in about the passing of time, the phase of the moon that we are affected by this week is the first quarter phase of the moon in the sign of Scorpio. And that's coming in at the end of this week. So it's coming in as we step into the new month. The other thing that's influencing us is we're actually almost halfway through the Mercury retrograde. How has that been feeling for you? I actually really enjoy Mercury retrograde phases because it's actually a time to really revisit and reprocess sometimes our communication. And of course, all communication starts, how do you speak to you? It's an internal, and then it goes external. So what kind of thoughts have been coming up for you? And as their patterns and questioning, wondering, ruminating, feeling things that are a little bit maybe discombobulating for you. Now, why I'm bringing your awareness to that is that with this first quarter phase of the moon coming in, that's the action time. So last week we were affected by the new moon, and that's the time to go quiet, to come in and plant the seeds for our intentions. Now we're being called to take action. With it coming in with the Scorpio energy, it's very deep. Scorpio is like the hidden depths, the real truth, but it's also allowing us clarity. So there's a vibe of massive, pivotal, shifting changes for us. And so there may be a little bit of a call. You may feel called or feel drawn to having some alone time, some contemplation time, maybe some extra journaling time to really allow yourself to deepen your access and your connection with your inner guidance. It's always there. It's always there. And so if you've watched these sessions before, you've probably heard me say that all of the answers we are looking for, the truths, the solutions, the resolutions, everything that we're looking for is looking for us. And so as we learn to really get in touch and calibrate ourselves to our inner compass, which has always been there, that's when we start to really engage and start to spiral upwards to embrace and become what we intend at a soul level. So this is very deep energies. Like I said, the first quarter phase of the moon with the sign of Scorpio. So it's also about getting in touch with your vibe, your willpower. I say willpower, but it's also like the motivation to do the things that you're called upon to do. Now, this is something that's very deeply personal also, because each one of us are wired in specific ways to find that calibrated action and being. So what's your rhythm? And are you finding it? So see what you can do this week to really tap into the navigation, the choices, and maybe even look at some of the choices or the things that you're saying yes to and doing. Are they right for you? Is it time to let some of that go? The other part around all of this too is to also take a wee moment to pat yourself on the back, to acknowledge how resilient you are. Because there may be a little bit of a bubbling desire within you that says, I want to go that way. That's the right way for me. And yet there's maybe an emotion that comes up, oh gosh, what if I get it wrong? remind yourself of how resilient, how capable, how strong, how powerful you are. And so now it's time to start stepping forward to that auspicious, audacious, most beautiful, illumined thing that's saying, come this way. This is your direction. And so this is about taking action, even if it feels a wee bit messy, or I don't know all the ways, or I haven't got it all figured out, or I can't see the full path, but I can see the step. So maybe it's time to just take that step. Big stuff. If I say anything that triggers you or confuses you, or you need a wee bit more guidance or support on any of these ideas, just put it in the comments below or message me directly. But now we're going to start pulling some cards. So the first deck that I use is my letting go guidance system, because all of the things that I just said, you know, halfway through the Mercury retrograde, actually it's more than halfway, and then the first quarter phase of the moon, starting to take action on those beautiful inspirations and intentions and aspirations, there's always something to let go. Because, you know, the thing about the letting go is, in order to make room for that which we are looking for. If we don't release, maybe we're blocking that which we're looking for or calling in. So let's see what we're going to focus on letting go. Well, cards often have a wee bit of a sense of humor. I already said pattern. So pattern. What's your pattern? Do you have a pattern of maybe having that inspiration or that intention or that desire bubble up, and do you have a pattern of stuffing it down or saying, oh no, we can't do that, I'm not capable, I'm not that, fill in the blanks. So what's your pattern that's not serving you anymore? What's your pattern that's maybe served its purpose, that you can say thank you, that did a great job, it really suited up until now, but now I can release it and invite in the new pattern. Always remembering that we are all becoming the next best version of ourselves. So what do you need to do to release the pattern and to flow with what's possible for you? And so now, as I was saying all that, let's see what tarot card. Oh, this is a good one too. This is the Hermit card. So, you know, I said actually the Hermit is the card of 2025. So the universal vibe of 2025 is the Hermit card. So this could be calibrating to that which you intended for this year. But also, you know how I said the Scorpio energy can sometimes mean that we need a wee bit of alone time, contemplation time, and quietening things down in order to actually really hear or receive the guidance. Because if we get too busy and too caught up in the woulda, coulda, shoulda, or the what's going on in the world around me, or getting caught up in social media feeds and things of that nature, we're not creating the space or the vibe that can actually help us hear the whisper. Because you see, the thing about our inner compass or our intuitive guidance, it's not loud, it doesn't keep repeating itself either. And so perhaps this week, if you have a pattern of not allowing yourself some contemplation time, some just free flow, maybe pull a card, maybe do some journaling, maybe go for a walk and just really pay attention, that's when the clarity can come in. So perhaps there's a piece around that Hermit energy for you. Okay, so now we're moving on, the Intuitive Whispers Oracle cards. Let's see what guidance comes up to help us navigate these energies and beyond. Actually, they help us beyond. So let's see what comes up. Beautiful, beautiful. So it's time to shine. So, you know, this is as the moon begins to wax, it's time to shine. It's time to allow that clarity, using that first quarter phase of the moon in this hidden depths. It's time to allow yourself to shine, to lead with your heart. And then, you know, I was saying about the the answers that you're looking for are looking for you. This one says, what is meant for you will find you. So then if you can deepen your trust in that, that's another very strong vibe of this energy, is trusting. Just because maybe you can't figure out the how or the when, it doesn't mean it's not happening. So remember that if what's meant for you, you can surrender and say, okay, now I can just focus on doing or attending to what's right in front of me. Right? So that's that, having a really strong sense of trust that even if you cannot see the next step after the one that's right in front of you, trust that it's there and it will become illumined as you start to go down that path. And the last one is throat release. Throat release, what does that bring up for you? Are you speaking? Are you speaking the words that are embedded in your own truth? There's a very strong vibe with all this energy of really accessing, honoring, acknowledging, and working with the truth of who you are. So throat energy, when I think about clearing the throat chakra, I always think about what's the thoughts, what's the ruminations, as well as what are the words that you're speaking out. So maybe it's time to allow your heart's wisdom to be spoken into the collective. And that can actually be the journaling, singing, chanting, speaking out, and thinking and watching. What are the thoughts that keep coming up? Is there a pattern with them? So taking a nice deep breath, I trust all of this makes sense and lands well for you and helps you navigate your best way forward. But I'm just about to send you off into this beautiful week ahead. The last card that I like to pull for these sessions is from my Liberate Your Inner Truth deck. So just take a nice deep breath. I haven't done lots of deep breaths with this one. Nice deep breath. Let's see what comes up. Beautiful. The card that's come up for us is I am loving. You are loving. You know, I was saying walk forward based on the wisdom of your heart. Lead from your heart. So I am loving. I believe that no matter the issue, question, or problem, the solution is always love. In light of this, I freely and unconditionally share my loving nature. That's what this is all about, and may that serve you well also. I wish you a superb week ahead, and like I said, if you need any support or further information, just let me know. Much love to you. I'll be back again with you next week.